bad one. We have got the Legion up against the Thieves. Both these teams looking to move forward in the tournament. Thieves got here early, Vegas were here all the time.
Yeah, they've been sitting and waiting, but first and foremost, there's anything that girl can't do. Honestly, we're just throwing her on the stage. I learned that she can cast as well, it's incredible. But we're really looking forward to this game. It should be an interesting one. Look, I mean, Thieves, we expect them to be down here because this is where they thrive. I mean, they went against FaZe, it wasn't a good performance, but we've seen the same thing at the previous event, the losers bracket run. It has already begun. Can it continue here up against a Vegas squad who, with 2 Real in there, have had a bit of a rejuvenation. Last time around that these 2 teams played was online. It was one of the first times we've seen Vegas Legion with the new lineup, and they beat them. So, I am not really predicting this to go either way. I think it's a really hard one to call. I'm not sure which way this one goes, which makes it very, very interesting.
Yeah, obviously our devs are talking about it. They are going towards Thieves. I think it's the same kind of vibe for most people out here as well, but here are some of the matchups. KD at the moment at 2.27 is what temp is dropping. Obviously they didn't have to play against LAG earlier on, but there's a couple of substitutes, but Kenny, a 1.07 for him, even after a bad start.
Yeah, I know, look, it's not too bad, and especially if Kenny's putting up those numbers. He's very much a playmaker for the side of the LA Thieves. He's somebody who does that little bit of dirty work for them. But on top of that, putting up the numbers is solid. Temp coming in with a 2.27. You're very right to go up against LAG. 3 different versions of them, and on top of that as well. So take it with a pinch of salt in that sense. But this is a tough game to call. Des may well go fully Thieves. I think most people will be leaning that way. But I think this is far from clear cut. First map though, Hotel Hardpoint LA Thieves will be feeling good about it. As we always talk about though, it is the breaking that's so important for them. Holds for the side of Vegas Legion here have to be consistent. The rotational ranks are solid. 2 and 5 record though is nothing to write home about. You need to bring the A game here against the current world champions. Our final game of the day here on Friday. Things about to get interesting at Bryce. There's a crowd behind Vegas. Thieves are up against it just a little bit.
Well, let's see. Nothing needs to be left on the table. Both teams fighting for survival at major number 3. At the moment, obviously, a little bit better position for the Thieves. They start off towards P1, but expect this hard point to be a little bit cutthroat all the way through. Vegas hasn't been getting better, and the skill ceiling for Thieves is already high.
Holding down some decent time over towards P1 is never a bad way to start. That's a bad way to start for TJ, though. Good gunny coming in from amongst it. And looking over towards these P2 rotations, Vegas still in control, but seeping time at P1 here.
This is an awful lot to give up for P1, but Clayson will eventually get there to try and stop that bleeding going through. For Vegas, they have sold everything for this P2 hold, and hold they must. You already see 2 Real. It's going to be taken down by Envoy. The pressure on to Vegas. And they have lynched down the hill. Envoy has just wrecked them.
7-1 to kick the game off. Runs through Restaurant, has 1. Jumps off the top of reception and finds another in the point. Wonderfully played, but still, for the side of Vegas Legion, TJ Halley towards the back is going to be able to do anything. Will be able to find 1. His team spawning up towards the back with him. It is only 2 Real there. Draza blocks the spawns. Vegas now with a pinch potentially here. Kind of going 1 by 1 here though, Brycey. You're shaking your head. I don't like it either.
It is not going well. Legion will have to jump into this one. They need to stop a little bit of bleeding, but they are running into gunfire over and over again. There's a rather large donut in that kill feed right now. Realistically, scrap time they are desperate for.
They can do with something going their way. 20 seconds remaining here. Over towards P2. They'll get the majority of that big gunfight going on. It's Ring Around the Rosie and Kitchen. Real wins it. It's a big gunfight to maybe get Vegas Legion into this game. Scrap time going their way and still going their way. Spawning for Thieves over towards P2 as well. It's going to be hotly contested when eventually Clayster does get here to back up 2 Real, who's doing a good job inside the kitchen. He will find 1, but needs some help.
2 Real.
He's still going.
Eventually taken down, but he's held off the Thieves for maybe just long enough. But there are no more kills here for Legion. They have to find something. Envoy is just dancing around the map. And the Thieves are pushing this lead further and further away.
Bad start here for the Vegas Legion. Not what they wanted. On one side of things, you've got Envoy going 10 and 5. TJ Haley 2 and 10. You knew from the word go, the shots weren't quite hitting. But Draza's up. 4 in a row from him. Crowd getting behind the side of Thieves once again. Envoy now side of Restaurant. It's just far too easy. LA Thieves are well and truly running this one up.
Somebody, the Legion, has to call, let's study this boat, rotate and hold. We need the 60. Because at the moment, the #2 breaking team in Thieves is hunting them. They are ready to rotate themselves. Legion are here first again. They have to make sure that the doors are locked and bolted.
And this is their first really big opportunity where they've had a chance to set up and get themselves into a good position. Thieves quite far away. It's going to be another 10-15 seconds or so before Thieves can get a hold of this point. If they can't get through the defenses of the Vegas Legion, Envoy and Kenny will find one apiece. Envoy will find another. 2 real left all alone. Spawns at the back of Vegas Legion are the only bit of respite that they will gain. 130 and rising for the Thieves. It's a 100-point lead.
And it's a ridiculous start from Envoy. Every time they need him, he's there, but 2 real here as well. Not able to get the headshot off of that one. Kenny and Octane combining. Clayster desperate to try and take down these players. They can't find their way in. Eventually, the guns will tell. But 140 to 28 as the LA Thieves continue to go to work on the Legion.
I mean, they started fast and they haven't slowed down. LA Thieves really looking a cut above right now. The transitional kills going their way too. Clayster, you need to lock down the back if you can, but everybody else running through the mid-map. Vegas Legion with another opportunity to set themselves up and get something going. TJ's not had a great start, but if he can lock down Kitchen and help his team and get some points, all will be forgotten.
Stop me if you've heard it, the Legion are here first and they need a hold for 60 again. But here come the Thieves already. Envoy. He's in a flow state. He is moving around this map. He is destroying Legion and every turn they get into him as they have broken again in 7 seconds.
This is getting borderline embarrassing. Vegas Legion, you need to start turning up very, very quickly. If you're not careful, this one could be done before we see a second rotation of Hills. All the kills going the way of Thieves, but eventually Vegas Legion will find a break. TJ finding 2. As he heated up at just too late of a moment. As Thieves now will get kitchen side spawns. It's where you want to be if you are locking down this next hill. Kenny's going to try and hold the kitchen. There's 1. There's 2 in for Kenny. In the pantry, he's just killing everybody. Nicely done, putting the pressure over towards the previous hill. That scrap time may well go over towards Vegas Legion, but Thieves are fully set up over towards the next one.
Still going to take care of Kenny. Eventually 2 real will, but they are nowhere near this. And for Legion, a mountain to climb. They are just not finding anything here. Eventually, TJ will find 1. A little bit of split spawns. He'll try and stay alive towards back kitchen to give his team the opportunity to break through the front door. TJ finds a second. Octane will eventually get him. They know the spawns are pushing them as well, but Legion needs some kills.
2 real finds a way through. Into bottom glass. Will get dealt with, though. It's just looking far too easy. Honestly, the Vegas Legion, it looks like it's very 1 by 1 by 1. Good kills coming in from Temp, though. Gets that kitchen control. The rest of the team not quite here. Draws at the last remaining member of Thieves on this point with 20 seconds to go. He will get dealt with. Vegas Legion looking to clean up this final 15 seconds in the first rotation of Hills. But the bad news for you, 206 points for the side of Thieves. 200-point mark, a broken 1 rotation of Hills. Quite simply flawless from Thieves. Poor from Legion. They're gonna need to step up in this second rotation of Hills.
Real trying to do everything he can to stay alive. Place to win the gunfight, but only just. Eventually a bit of shooting going through as well. Legion starting to get some points back onto the board. We've seen comebacks at this tournament already. Do they have it in them to find another?
I mean, they've kind of kept that 100-point gap for quite some time, so I suppose that's something you can cling on to, but you need to start closing that gap relatively quickly. Thieves can play scrap time the rest of this game and win it quite comfortably, but this is a good start to the second rotation here from Legion. A lot more resolute. The pushes are coming from Thieves, but have they taken their foot off the gas? They need to make sure they're locking in for P2 coming up. It could be a big money maker for one of these 2 teams.
Well, here we go. Could be the last ride of the Legion on this map. They got the time on P1. They stopped the bleed. They broke the 100 points. P2 is calling, Destiny is calling as well, and they are finding it done. They have got into P2 last time around. This was broken in seconds. It cannot happen again.
A small glimmer of hope for the side of Vegas Legion. Looking over towards the dual side, though. That's where the push is coming in from Thieves. There's a big gunfight going to go on over towards the bar in just a second as well. Clayster caught with his pants down. But the kills on the other side of things work out for Vegas Legion. Pinch set up here for Thieves.
They're looking for it. They're trying to get into it. TJ is fighting every single angle they can. The trades come through. The Legion are out. Clayster will find one to try and stop them coming as well. But you can see the Legion want desperately back into this. Every single point that goes against them is a dagger to the heart, but Clayster's not missing. Not a great start, but he's playing better now.
Can't find that final kill. Tempest there to try and clean it up. The kills come through, though, for the side of Thieves, and this is the problem for Vegas Legion. They are so far behind, they need to fight for every single second that is on offer. To reel into the point, Envoy will be the first to fall. Kenny is there to follow him potentially. They need these points, they need these kills. They also need the rotation, which is now going in. Vegas Legion are there. The final moments of scrap will go over towards them as well. It's all about these fights in restaurant now.
And here we go. LA Thieves ready to pitch. Two real trying to break in at the same time. He found Kenny. Reinforcements flooding for the Legion. Already one player's going to go down. The rest of them are stuck inside the kitchen, hoping for it. Octane towards the back of the pit. Clayster finds one. He knows where Octane is as well. The gunning is coming through. Done. The Legion are starting to believe that this is possible. It is plausible. They are holding the Thieves at bay.
They're holding them at bay, but it's still a 70-point gap they've got to close down. But that time is ticking towards Legion. Clayster goes on a huge spree. Back 4 dead. Vegas Legion, you're very right. They're starting to believe, but have they heated up just a little bit too late? These rotations need to be flawless. The holes need to be brilliant. They need Thieves to collapse to come back into this game. But Clayster, this man's nearly 31 years old. He's absolutely frying on the main stage now. It is going to be a 30-point game by the time we get over towards the next hill.
The Legion are not here. The Thieves are. One last chance for the Legion. They need a break. They need a break now. TJ Gunn's the first. The rest are reinforcing. The time is ticking. They have brought this back to a hair's breadth. And they are moving mad. Every single kill they need, they are finding. The Legion are fighting back. They are not done. They will not go quietly into the night. As they start to get towards the 200-point limit, the Thieves are being rebuffed. They are being beaten back on every single gunfight. What can they do?
Thieves can get nowhere near this, and this is when things start to get a little bit panicky. Thieves now in the descendancy, if anything. It's all absolute craziness across the map. Oh my goodness, what is going on? Hold your breath. Vegas Legion take the lead as we head into the next hill, but there's a small break from Thieves. Legion are here at Restaurant. It is a 7-point game as we head over towards the next hill.
19 tournaments for Clayster, and he's trying to put every bit of veterancy into this comeback that he can. 2 real finds a kill. The Thieves are in kitchen. It's reinforcements for Legion. Here come the Thieves. They cannot allow this to slip now. And there is snaking going on. Octane and Envoy have broken through. Ken finds one. Finds the second 1v1. And it's Clayster looking for the last. And they put it out. 10 seconds. 10 points. The comeback of the CDL year. Can they do it? The Thieves are moving, but they are moving into the kill feed. And Legion has just made the greatest comeback in Hardpoint you will ever see. History has just been made. The Legion would not let it go. We've seen teams give up at that point. We were questioning whether or not they would even break the 100-point mark. But they took it. They roared past. 200 was next. The rotations arrived. And Clayster and the rest of Vegas decided we will not be having your malarkey today.
That is a breakdown, if I've ever seen one. The Vegas Legion, what? TJ was like 0-26. I don't know what to tell you. And that's the kind of game you are delusionally confident if you are Thieves, because you are frying them. It is not even close to being a competitive game. And then when they start calling it back, you're like, okay, let's switch on. Then it gets to 70 points. You're like, okay, right, they got kitchen rotation. Let's make sure we rotate. They do, but Vegas Legion find the break, and then they find the break, and then they find a rotation, they find a hold, they find a map 1 win, and pull it out of the depths of... I don't even know what to say. That is a ridiculous comeback. I'd love to know the stats in terms of how it broke down over the final 5 hills, because it feels like Legion got every point and Thieves got absolutely nothing.
This may be an Optic home crowd, But everybody's heart and blood was singing for Vegas in those moments. Look how far behind they were. Look how badly it was going for them. When we talk about ice, we talk about veterancy. 206 to 63 ton.
206 to 63. Let's do the maths. Maybe a little bit better than Ghosty. So what's that turnaround? They would have got 33, so that would have brought them to... that's like... They basically did to them what got done to them that first rotation of Hills. They just did it straight back to Thieves. And where is your mental if you're the LA Thieves now?
Rotation after rotation, you only need scrap time if you're above the 200-point mark with 140 points to spare. And you find 30 for the rest of the game.
That's pretty bad.
For the Thieves, that is going to be disappointing. The Legion turned on the burners, a 1.63 from temp. And they started off basically everybody negative.
I'm actually still perplexed. I can't believe that just happened.
We have a saying when we do our caster stuff, when we talk about teams, about selling the dream, right? It's one of the core tenets of what we do here at the CDL. Over and over again, we sell the dream. We make you believe it is possible, even if we don't think it is.
I didn't think that was
we
possible.
were selling the dream. And Vegas lived it.
Man, I mean, if you were selling the dream, you're the best salesman I've ever met. That is the craziest map #1 we've seen in the CDL this year, I would say, so far. It rivals the FaZe comeback on Fortress as well. Okay, map #2 apparently coming up. I don't know what to say on that. And that is the kind of map now, if you're Thieves, you need your coaching staff to come in and go, right, look, reset. These things happen. They are still a team who could go on and win the next 4 maps if we were needing to play them. They are a solid outfit. But still, that will take some coming back from, because your head will be gone. That was a 143-point deficit. It's the largest comeback in hardpoint this season, so it goes past the comeback that we've seen from FaZe on Fortress. Well, we got a game 2 to get into. Lock in.
Yeah, I do apologize, by the way, at home if I basically went into a different octave for that entire hardpoint, but
there were dogs everywhere. Just
yeah. There was nothing left for me to give, and Legion gave everything they could as well. It deserved it. And it almost feels anticlimactic to continue with the rest of this series, but the rest of the series will go on. S&D next. It has been a strong point for the Legion, something they have relied upon. Whether or not they can now do the crazy business of going 2-up over Thieves, all relies on them.
And one thing to say about Thieves' record, they keep picking this map, even though they do lose it relatively often, but it's one of those maps where they only lose it quite tightly. They do feel like they played this one well. So LSCLO is in. Clayster with the sniper. Damn, he's just holding down mid-alley. This is confidence from a man who just went on that ridiculous comeback. Got to be feeling good about themselves. No kills to be found so far in the first 25 seconds. And what's the play here now from Thieves? Because they seem to be playing a little bit jaded. That first blood will help them out. Clayster, hit marker coming through. Not going to help them out. It is now a 3 versus 3. It's too real. Evens the odds.
Clayster trying to play his life here. They know he's sniping now. Trying to stay alive. He gets back stun onto him. They give him a little bit of information. Clayster challenging this entire team with a pistol. Finds one on the second.
Too real
arrives. And Draza left alone in a 1 versus 2. He's going to see the back. Too real, but not get the kill either.
Oh, shots in from Draza are solid. Too real. He can sniff the ace. He wants it. Shots in from 1. Too real. For the ace in round #1.
This is a little bit dangerous, a little bit troublesome. They find it with teamwork and patience.
And one thing to point out there, let's not say it's going to be a trend, but the first blood goes over towards the side of Thieves. They're the worst team in the game when it comes to converting those first bloods on LSCLO. You get a small taste of that there. They find first bloods 50% of the time, so, you know, every other round, but only converting them 58% of the time. Not good enough. They'll be squirming at that one. Vegas Legion and 2 Real especially will be more than happy to add more woe to that stat to the side of Thieves. Now, what's the play here for the Vegas Legion? Looking like a fast one. Everyone up top, what's going to go on here?
Oh, 2 Real jumping straight through. Dead Silence is part of, so he's going to fly at this one as well. And he's healing himself. A 5 streak for him now. TJ gets away with his life. It's still advantage to Legion. Thieves have got some good positioning on this one if they want to try and slow it down, but that bomb has been planted. Too Real isn't stopping for nobody.
Oh, well, we talk about Abizi on this map, but is it too easy for Too Real right now? 6-0. Cruise missile, very much acquired. Don't think he's going to expect Octane back here, but gets away and just staying alive at this stage with the bomb down. Works out perfectly. 3v2 for Legion.
He's playing with him. However, his teammate has dropped 2 versus 2. The Thieves looking to try and steady this game. Can they find any more kills? Too Real looking for this one. It's already going to be 1 versus 2, but they will get it. The Thieves hold it at bay. A big clutch from them in the end.
That's a big round. I think Vegas Legion were getting a little bit worried about the bomb in case there was a potential stretch coming in closer to the window. Shots come in from the other player who's still alive, and as all of a sudden Too Real's like, okay, I have to challenge it. The 6 spree comes to an end. Octane, fast in hand. I think you seen what Simp did to him yesterday and thought, yeah, we should probably try this gun, yeah?
Well, it's all tied up on the S&D. Too Real losing kind of crazy. Actually has the only kills on the Legion after 2 rounds. I could have done with a little bit of a trade for him, but hey, we continue to move. This time, Thieves on the attack. Maybe a little bit of a change of tactic here. Probably expecting a big push from Too Real.
Slow and steady, winning the race on the outside. Clayster checking this one, Draza, a couple of bullets in, grenade, not going to touch. Clayster will back down, as will Draza, but yeah, you're going to push field, you're going to push outside. We've got this cruise missile in our back pocket, so that's going to disrupt things here for the side of Thieves. I don't think Too Real will find anything with it, he won't, but he will give Legion an opportunity to put themselves in a better position, just like this. 7-1 from Too Real, trying to make it 8, being chased down as the trade there, not quite. As Kenny will fall, but Envoy survives. Now, 2 versus 3 for the side of Thieves to try and bring back.
Just say TJ just re-swung onto Octane, will pay the price for doing it. Tempo finds Envoy, another trade come through. Now Octane for another clutch for them. Looking desperately for these players. Has to consider also whether or not he will plant the bomb or try and make a pick first. He's already seen one, but that does mean they've also seen him.
Less than 30 seconds. Octane goes to make the play. Clayster coming over to check it though. Is he going to see him? Yes, he is. A Vegas Legion win. And Octane, not really many choices to make that. It's hard when you see one of the players over towards B. You expect the other to be holding his hand. Clayster though, making his way over, expecting Sam to go for the quick plan.
Could have been a little bit of trouble there, actually. The gun barrel was in the way of Octane for just a second.
We've seen a few of those.
Yeah, it does happen occasionally. When you're centering, you're looking for the player on and around the bomb site. But right now, Legion doing well. Most of that is on the back of Too Real.
The SMG presence being a problem. We've seen in the first half of that first map, it really was Envoy taking over, but Too Real at this moment in time is here for the side of Vegas Legion. They're running the show. 7-2 out of him. Now what's the setup for Legion? There is a big presence from LA Thieves inside this A site. One of them over towards the A control. Big first gunfight to open things up.
Just waiting. Goes back, it goes open and already gets caught. Clayster goes down. Too Real is stunned. He's trying to get out of it. He can't escape. And now he's like stuck in the mud. TJ looking to try and get something. Thieves smell blood, but TJ finds the win.
Surely not a second. No, Envoy will trade that one out and attempt. Nowhere near where the action was going on, so they will have a very little to no information on this position right now. A 1 versus 3. This is so difficult without the bomb for Temp. And there's the sound cues. They'll know where he is now.
Looking for him as well. Kenny's going to see him.
Oh, my God.
A little bit of light at the end of the tunnel here for Temp.
Daddy Pop, 25 seconds to go. Still a lot of work to do.
The Thieves, we want to bunker down and just make sure they double chow anything that they can find. No hit marker for Temp.
Daddy
Hoping to find anybody, somebody, nobody. As Thieves get that round down. No clutch for Temp. It was always going to be a long stretch.
Nice and calm from Thieves. Nothing too silly. Yeah, just playing together. They know where he is. Even if he finds that kill and the draws it, Envoy's flying at him. Nicely done from Thieves there. Pick them apart where they could. The stun over towards the double doors. Over towards the bar really opened things up. It's a good use of the tax to open up some playground, I suppose, for the side of Thieves. They find a couple of kills. Too Real couldn't get things going there. 7-3 out of the young man. He really has such a good time on this Legion roster in comparison to how he did over on Vanguard, of course. A much better showing so far.
Oh, going to go for it as well. TJ, though, will be first-blooded. LA Thieves now have the advantage. They can apply pressure wherever they want to on this map, and that's what they're looking for. Superpowers activated. Kenny is going on a run.
The only thing they don't have is a lot of map presence over towards A. And that's why Kenny now hitting around this side of the map. Not often a player hanging out towards this side. Clayster about to make me eat my words as he falls over, but Temp now going to go on down to Uriel, caught out Kenny. That's 3 kills in the round for him. Clayster now left in a 1 versus 4.
Finds the first, doesn't know where the second is. Almost finds the second, does. Clayster's still alive, but he's unsure what to do next. Waiting for the player to come through, he throws the shot on boy, but it's a double chow. They will not allow him to get away with that. And LA Thieves shut it down before it gets out of control.
Yeah, a little bit scary for just a moment. Very little Clayster can do there. Even if he kills one of them again, same story. Thieves are very good at those 2v1 situations. We've seen them so many times. They played together as well as anybody else in the CDL. 3-2 lead now for Thieves. Trying to bring this one back. And you'd think, after map number 1, where are their heads at? We're nice and steady now, you would say. Onto the defensive side for them now. Can they lock this down? Envoy starting to get on board with this map. Real has slowed down just a tad.
Instant getting in there, getting that information. Not quite moving forward, but the Thieves are really upping the tempo of this. They do not want to play the game that Legion want to. Back to a 3 versus 3. It's trying to just make sure that A is clear.
Don't want to let these plants go down if you are the side of Thieves. One of the worst retake positioning teams on in the CDL. You allow those plants to go down quite often. When they do, it's not often retaken. Vegas Legion haven't necessarily had the chance to do so, but looking over towards B, there's a slippery little snake called Surreal who had actually managed to break the back lines of things. Oh my goodness, Kenny! Guns Temp, and all of a sudden it's a 3 versus 2. It really should have been the other way around.
Legion don't know where to go now. They've lost the map control they were looking for, and a fight coming down. Kenny and Clayster. Kenny gets no, he goes high, and now a 1 versus 3 for Real. He's been playing very, very well, but has slowed down in recent rounds. A clutch here could be the boost they need.
No, Daddy. That's going to hurt him. Not much he can do here, even if he finds one. He's surely going to get cleared. Yeah, okay, I can see what he tries to do. Tries to pick one, then get the diffuser, and get out would have been the plan. But he had to do it very, very quickly. I tip my hat to the attempt, but that time around, the Thieves will get it done. And for me, I think in that scenario, Clayster challenging Kenny over towards the field side of the map whilst Churi is planting the bomb. You got to try and stay alive in that scenario, maybe a little bit overzealous. It's feeling like he maybe had Kenny dead to rights, but Kenny pulls off 2 really, really big gunfights by his own right. Good job on the field side from him. A 4-2 lead now for Thieves. That map 1 has been forgotten about now, I would say. Feeling good in Search and Destroy.
It's all Thieves at the moment. A hard point, a distant memory. 2 more rounds will give them this map. At the moment, maybe just looking for some information. You can see the way they're spread out, trying to figure out where they can push.
Out of the 6 rounds, we've only had 2 bombs planted. It's all been about the action of control and playing the picks for both these 2 teams. Kenny will get rid of a little bit of a util for the side of the Vegas Legion inside the site. Now the aggression will start to come through. Clayster will find one though, so that's first blood for the Vegas Legion. 4v3 in their scenario, but surely Envoy finds one here on the outside. He will do, but he only has Kenny for company.
Jay trying to find him, but
Envoy
just not going down. How has he got away with this? And in a 2 versus 2, TJ really wanted to convert that, but it is not to be. Is this a 5-2 or is it a 4-3? With time ticking down, it does put LA Thieves in a slightly worse position.
What's the play? TJ staying alive, not making any moves too hastily. Clayster is here with him. They haven't got a clue where Thieves are, but now they do. Envoy's just going to catch some horrible timing. Maybe taken down now. Kenny left inside the bomb site. No need to over-challenge and get TJ. Vegas Legion, that's an important round to fight. 5-2, very different to the 4-3 scoreline we now have.
I also want to point out, I think LA Thieves played themselves a little bit. If you remember what we were seeing just then, the Legion were actually looking in their own spawn. They were convinced that Thieves had gone all the way around. Both members were looking the wrong way. Fortunately, the timing for Legion worked out for them, and they managed to catch it, or it could have been disastrous.
The map was kind of all over the place, wasn't it? Everyone kind of in the wrong positions in terms of when you're attacking and defending. You get caught up in what you're doing, moving to other sides of the map. It's very, very difficult. Real having a hell of a game, 9 and 6. TJ with a good round there with 2. Temp now with a big stick out. Trying to find some picks, and one has been a pick-heavy, slay-heavy search and destroy. Not much objective work being done. Canny grenade doesn't find much. Real will back down. Real will survive. Still 4v4.
Yeah, a lot of shots going down here, and you can see the Thieves trying to get into it as well. It goes back down to a 3 versus 3. Players moving here on both sides, trying to get in a better position. Envoy will be one of them. He usually finds stuff when he does this, but Bomb looks like it is going to go down for Legion as well. This means a retake for Thieves.
And retaking has been a big problem for them. Only 30% of the time are they going to get the job done there. Now it's a 3 versus 2. Envoy and Octane left. Envoy, the only one now, as Octane will fall. Legion looking to tie things up in the search and destroy. 4-4.
And every single step of this series so far, momentum swings. I can't tell you who's going to win the next round, the next gunfight, the next map. Fortunately, we get to join them on this journey.
First Bloods have really been not much of a difference maker for Thieves. They're currently sitting at 5-3 advantage in that department, but of course at the scoreline 4-4, they haven't converted them as well, and that has been a big story for them when it's come down to this map. No ability to convert the First Bloods. Struggle to retake bomb sites there. Pretty crucial parts of search and destroy. Claystead, 5-3 for him. Of course, the cruise missile was used by Real. Claystead trying to get one of his own.
They're all in here as well, but the pressure is mounting. Finds the first. You see Clayster trying to look out for his teammates as well. Do the Thieves headbutt this? Do they know what's going on? Or do they try and go for a different tactic? Legion actually probably feeling a little bit nervous, and you can see that in the redistribution.
I think what will be important for them, even if they are going to lose this round, a Clayster cruise missile would not be a terrible thing to leave the round with, whichever way it does indeed go. Dead Silence is available for him if he does want to make the play. And you're giving up the site. So it's going to have to potentially be a 3v4 retake.
Clayster's moving. He's got the dead silence as well. He's trying to get he beats the first player down. Looks for the second one, but will fall himself. He gets his cruise missile, but at the cost of his own life. 2 versus 3 now for the Legion. Bomb will go down for Thieves. The Temp finds the first. 2 versus 2. Dead silence activated. And now they're trying to figure out where everybody is. Temp, is he going to chow? Is he going to look for it? Octane, he's figuring out they're going to go for the double chow as well. Octane staying alive, eventually will fall. Envoy now for a 1 versus 2. Time ticking. The Thieves hoping to get this round for map points. They want to move, and here comes the double chow. You can see the Legion going through. Envoy slips in there as well. Doesn't win the gunfight, and it's a clutch from the Legion. They do it in time. Round after round. 5-4 now to Vegas.
First blood again for Thieves. You are presenting yourself with opportunities to win maps and not closing it out. The Vegas Legion clutch up again. Temp and TJ just playing it slowly. Find the pick at the right time if you're Temp. May well have not had a fantastic search and destroy here. But 5-4 up. Cruise missile, that's in your back pocket if you're Clayster. And the crowd tells you exactly what you need to know about this scoreline. It is 5-4, 1 more round for Vegas Legion to take a 2-0 lead in this series.
They can taste it, but will it become a reality? Where do they go? What do they change? What do they adjust? Incoming cruise missile. This is going to push the Thieves into positions they don't really want to be.
It's going to push them all inside, and the whole of Vegas Legion are going to say, screw it, let's go to B.
And now they have the position they wanted to be in. But being in this position is one thing, converting it is another. Bomb now down, 4 versus 4. Octane finds Temp though. Life for Thieves, opportunity for Thieves. Already the first cut through, he gets back to trade as well, but Envoy will get it back at the same time. 2 versus 3, pressure mounting on Legion, and 2 real falls to Envoy. And Clayster was not here, he was not in the position they needed him to be, and falls to Octane. We're going for 5-5.
Because of course we are. Round 11 beckons. And I love the play call coming out from Vegas Legion. Clayster calls that streak and then he's on a slow flank. But for that to work, you need your teammates to survive around the site. It's the first blood that comes in from Octane. He's the one to finish the round for Thieves. Hugely important round now coming up. It's a round 11, of course. Thieves, you need this map.
An Envoy has just been finding things. 9 non-traded kills, 13 and 7. For the Legion, the play did not work out. They got too compressed. They did not have the room to move. The lifeline is they have one more opportunity to do something. They are on the attack again. And Envoy's already going to find something. The stun comes through, and they will as well. It shouldn't be enough to get a kill, but it will force the Legion to back down.
Yeah, good job for TJ that a couple of bullets didn't hit him, because that would have been a dangerous prospect. Would have been potentially another first blood for the side of Thieves. They're currently sending a ridiculous number. It's 7-3 in those first bloods, and yet we find ourselves here in round 11. Temp has been struggling, but there's the first blood. There's a hit marker. I don't know what to tell you, crowd.
Dead Silence for 2 real. Is it going to work out? I don't know. Oh, this is stressful. He's
sees
him as well. Will he win the gunfight? Reinforcements surely flooding towards the train. A reload, a run. Oh my goodness, Clayton will get it back to a 3 versus 3. Another tower. They comes in. It's trained again. A 2 versus 2. Time ticking away.
And the pressure is on the attacking team. Vegas Legion, what's the call? Kenny's over here. He's getting no info. And the answer to that is because the bomb is going down today. 2 versus 2 for the map.
At the moment, the Legion have not been able to get anything going well. The hit's already coming. Clayton looking for the first one. That player's been trying to get as well. Clayton gets 1-on-1 versus 1. 10 versus Kenny for the map. And they're finding, they're spraying, they're looking in his head. Come on, the hammer. Come on, the Legion. And they go up against the Thieves. Nobody believed with this team on the stage. And they are celebrating, and rightfully so. Underdogs, no more. They are 1 map away from moving forward.
Oh, Lord help me, Thieves. 8-3 on first bloods, and you lose the game in round 11. Fumble after fumble. I hate to say it. Look, Legion are playing well, but Thieves are putting themselves in positions to win games, and they are not closing them out. So many times, Vegas Legion are giving up that first kill. They're in 3v4 scenarios, 75 to 80% of that game, and they come away with the win. They're behind by 5 trillion points in map number 1, and they come away with the win. They are 2-0 up in this series, somehow, some way. We're heading to a control. Thieves need the reverse sweep. They could feasibly be 2-0 up here, and yet they find themselves 2-0 down.
I really don't know what to say, but I can't take much more of this match. It has been ridiculous, but it will continue. Don't go anywhere. You aren't going to want to miss this. We'll see you right after this break for more Call of Duty League action.
The Call of Duty League is presented by the GMC Hummer EV Pickup, the world's first all-electric super truck. Upgrade your game with a SCUF, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. We are live at our major number 3 in Arlington, Texas. And I didn't know there was a big crossover of fans from the Green Ball to the Legion, but they are loud today. And if you are just joining us, commiserations, because we've had an incredible series so far as we move on to the Control ton.
Yeah, Control coming up. Spells good news for a lot of people who will be watching, but spells bad news for the side of the Vegas Legion. We're going to be heading over to El Asilo. Everyone happy about that one? We happy we're going to El Asilo?
It's funny actually in the veto process. I've never really seen it before, but obviously Fortress Control, Legion would normally pick, but I think LA Thieves threatened to bring their coach in for it, so it actually got vetoed out by the Legion this time. Kind of a crazy kind of mind game going on for them, but man of the moment maybe. Clayster, S&D at 1.63, pulled them out the fire time and time again. Statistics in this Control, by the way, heavily against the Legion. We don't actually expect it to end here, Tom.
No, absolutely not. Clayster putting up some big numbers, like he's not the same age as me, but here we are. Big push coming in from the side of Thieves over towards the A side. Let's try and get some time on the board for Thieves. It is about trying to settle yourselves down. You've played mostly decent throughout this series, but it has just been a couple of fumbles here and there at the wrong times, which has cost you the maps. If you just continue to keep playing this way, tighten things up, they could be in such a better point in this series. A now going their way, looking like the Vegas Legion are happy to give this one over. A is now gone. That's not a good start for Legion. Great start for Thieves.
And bearing in mind, obviously, it has changed a little bit. We thought we might get another Fortress Control, not to be El Asilo. Vegas taking the chance, and that chance is not going well so far. They have to defend B now for a full 2 minutes.
Vegas, just one of the worst defensive teams, sorry, I should say, when it does come down to the CDL. Sending a 30% of their wins on defenses in 11th. LAT are actually 5th, but a full 15% ahead of the defensive rounds that they win. They lock them down. It just shows how low end of the scale Vegas Legion are when it does come down to these defensive rounds on El Asilo Control. They're going to be counting on their attacks, but still some defensive work to be done. Limes in the favor of Legion right now. B still yet to be touched by the side of Thieves.
DJ, just keep putting the pressure on, keep them on the back foot. The Thieves do not need to win this in one go. They just need to keep putting the pressure and forcing Legion to adapt to them. You can see already they're taking map control away.
Yeah, that's the problem. Right now, Vegas Legion have nobody past really the 20-yard line, and that's creating problems, especially when you start to fall 3 dead. Temp left on his own. Huge opportunity now for Thieves to go up in this Control.
Temp goes down and they're going to stack it.
Yep.
They know. Even Envoy's coming through. They're all going to jump on this point. The first pick is rocking. The nade trying to fly in from them as well, but they've got trophies. TJ's going to go on a flank. He might not get there in time. He has to move and try and slow it down. TJ's flying at it. He finds the first temp, gets one, but it's no good. Thieves just took it from them like candy from a baby.
And for Vegas Legion there, you sit back far too much. You don't allow any of your SMGs or even your ARs. Push up, top 3. That's where you want to go on the defensive side when you're defending B. They all had to sit back because they lose a couple of gunfights in mid-map. And Thieves take that opportunity and run with it. The 4-stack comes in. It's a quick attacking round for the side of Thieves. As we mentioned, though, Vegas' defense has not really been their strong suit. Attack has not been too bad for them. They're getting decent amount of ticks on these attacks. They're going to need 6 here, though, to tie the score up.
And here we go for the Legion. Not favored on this map, but they weren't favored in the series. They're going to be attacking at this time. You can already see Envoy. He's probably been the biggest player for Thieves in this series, even though they're down 2-0. He's moving forward. He's finding kills. There's another one on a TJ. The Legion have just been completely wiped away here. They've got nothing left.
Not much of an attacking round to talk about. Not much of a control to talk about for Vegas Legion. LA Thieves answering in the perfect way so far. Legion still stacking over towards this A side. Good top green control from Envoy. We were talking about it in the break. Envoy's having a great series for Thieves, putting out incredible numbers. Continues to do so in this control. It's a ridiculous shot from Octane. 1 HP, have the grenade. Draza will find 2 of his own as well. Vegas Legion yet to really arrive on El Asilo here on the control.
And the Thieves making them pay for the humiliation of the last 2 maps. They are not giving them any breath to speak with. Kenny just staying alive mid-map as well. Octane making sure he can test this for any single second, finding TJ before he can do anything. Disjointed is the way to speak of Vegas right now.
I think that's pretty much the right word, isn't it? It doesn't feel cohesive. And this looks a little bit better. Slow and steady, setting themselves up. They've got control over towards the radio tower. TJ will find one on the flank as well. There's the second one that was on the flank. Good opportunity now to extend this time. 30 seconds left. I expect that to say 1 minute 30 in a few moments' time.
Patience from Octane went away. He stayed there for so long. Eventually will find that second kill as well. Placed up, looking to get this second tick on. He knows he needs to keep this clock steady. Second tick comes in. LA Thieves want to end it. They're pushing for it as well. Envoy's found 2 more. The Legion on the back foot with only 2 ticks.
And they're reeling right now. TJ just trying to cause some havoc, just trying to... It's incredible hip fire, but it's not good enough to find the kill. Surreal now, you're clutching at straws with the B hit, 15 seconds to go. And Legion very much looking like the 0-5 team that they are on El Asilo control right now. Thieves looking to go 2-0 up here. That's as convincing as you're ever likely to see on the defensive round here. 2-0 to the Thieves. They couldn't throw this away, could they?
Surely not again. Well, this is more of what we expected. The Thieves heavily favored in this matchup, and especially on this map. Control has actually been a problem for Vegas over and over again in this year in the CDL. They're better than they were at the beginning, but not by much.
Yeah, that doesn't really say much, does it? The record continues to be very poor when it does come down to these controls. Looking towards the scoreboard, I mean, they're just not finding the kills when they need to. Yeah, right, it's not pretty to look at. Claystead right now sitting 390 damage in total over these last 2 rounds. 0-5 on El Asilo control this season, and you're seeing prime examples why. Not able to close anything out. They get the start of something promising, and then they tend to just fall apart. The setup's not quite there. Temp will find one over towards the radio tower. That was to rebuff a little bit of an attack here from the side of Thieves. They're still going. Good gunshots from Temp, as they always are. A bit of progress for Thieves over towards A.
The biggest issue right now for the Legion is they're staring down the barrel of no matter what they do in these next 2 rounds, they could be facing attack from the last anyway. Trying to just hold them as far back as possible. The green does stay alive, by the way. They keep Thieves to 1 tick here, but it is a big, big ask.
Well, these 2 teams... Yeah, it's ridiculous gunfight from Envoy. When it does come down to the defensive rounds, that's something that Legion really have struggled with. The attacks haven't necessarily been too hard to come by. Defensively, though, extremely, extremely poor. And we're seeing that a little bit now as they try to make the push over towards this side. Thieves on their way. Legion not really able to get a lot of presence over towards this side. Draza just trying to stay alive, does so, finds the kill as well. A is well and truly in the sights of Thieves. They make the push. Claystead's still here and defending, though. And that time has went by quite quickly. 30 seconds left to go for Thieves to find something.
Claystead finds one. Unfortunately, the rest of the team need to back him up here. That second tick should come in here at A as well. They're trying to find it. Claystead looking for an angle. Almost loses that gunfight as well. Gets away and dies eventually. The Draza should now be a lock realistically. LA Thieves will get the extension. They have the time as they head towards B.
And the problem is here as well that Vegas leading, you can't stretch out towards field because Envoy is already there. He will get wiped out though, so an opportunity for them to spread their wings, stretch their legs over towards that field side. You can see already Temp now coming back. I'd love for him to go forward, try and put that pressure on. Kenny will punish him for his mistakes. He keeps things going. 4 streak for him now, the Thieves. They smell blood in the water. They're pushing on to B. Could this be map number 4 incoming?
A little bit of a double chow goes wrong with the Thieves making their presence known. You can already see they know that they can get this one over the line. A quick control will help their spirits. An Envoy staying alive. Temp will find 2. That's pushed them back just a little bit. They're on the cusp of finding something. Envoy stays alive against Temp as well. And now just waiting. There's Legion in the waters, and he's trying to sniff them out, but they haven't found him. Kenny staying alive at the same time. More pressure coming through from Thieves. Draza's going to be there.
Bit better from TJ now as he pushes up. Draza will find 2. They did actually have somebody behind, but there you go. TJ now forced. Massive opportunity now for Thieves to find a map.
And again, the Legion are here in numbers. Sorry, the Thieves are here in numbers. The Legion are not close. That second tick is close as well. And Kenny's going to find a kill. Octane's going to find a kill. And the Thieves are looking to bury the Legion here on control. TJ finds one, but it's not enough. And the Thieves rise from the ashes like the Phoenix that they are. A 3-0 against the Legion, whose control won't continue at major number 3. And that's what we expected from them. 20 and 12 from Draza, 16 and 10 from Kenny. A lesson, a statement, and a full regain from LA Thieves.
A very different storyline to the first maps we see. That is domination from the side of the LA Thieves. As good as it is likely to get for a team on LSCLO. And that was just far too easy. I think Vegas Legion, even by their, I want to say, very low standards when it comes down to control, will be disappointed in that one. Offered absolutely nothing to the Thieves to give them any sort of competition there. Draza and Co had their way with the Vegas Legion. That's a 3-0 scoreline. The woes for Legion continue. 0-6 now on LSCLO control.
Yep, and we're going to see some highlights now from this map, and I guarantee you it's basically going to be all Thieves. They were heavily favoured. It is a weakness in their gameplay. Vegas Legion have never really figured out control to the depth that some other teams have. Obviously, LSCLO coming in, their worst map now, 0-6 on it. But it is buoyed the Thieves. They needed to take the fight to the Legion, and fight they did.
And that's really the kind of map if you're Vegas Legion in the situation you are in now. It's been 2 close maps you've taken away, but you've put some of that win back in the sails of LA Thieves with that performance that will give them a lot of confidence heading into map number 4 now. You've got to be feeling good if you're Thieves. You know you can bring this one back. Hardpoint and of course the Search and Destroy were ridiculously close in the previous 2 maps. You know you can take these. The reverse sweep is on the cards. And not much to say there, really. Look, Vegas Legion, once again, very, very disjointed. The slaying heavy towards Thieves as we expected. A 3-0 scoreline. Draza dropping in 1.67. That will be giving him a lot of confidence. Considering I want to say he hasn't necessarily had the best tournament so far. We've only got a small sample size, of course, but eventually seems to be arriving here on the main stage when it may well matter most.
And that's what they needed. It's what they expected as well. And here's the thing, we talked about a potential reverse sweep. It's never off the cards, not at this level. The Thieves heavily favoured into this matchup. The Legion are the Thieves. They're like thieves in the night, stealing away 2 maps from them. And we continue into the next hard point. Vegas still up 2-1. Anybody's game moving forward.
It's a very hard one to call still. Of course, the Vegas Legion will be confident in the position that they are in, especially with another Search and Destroy coming up. We know how strong they feel in that game mode. And that's at least guaranteed for a map number 5 if you do go on to lose the hard point coming up. I believe it's going to be Mercado, which we've seen a lot of good play from the side of the LA Thieves, but that quick shot that we got of the Vegas Legion then, they're still pretty relaxed.
Yeah, I think they would be. It's one of those things like you kind of just have to laugh it off. They knew that that wasn't going to be a good one for them. This is how it's been so far. Hotel Hardpoint, an absolute buff storm up. And then a close game, 6-5 on LSCLO. Not the same in the control though. That was Thieves, it wasn't close, it wasn't pretty. The Legion basically just, well, they didn't do anything, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, we might as well just load it in the map number 4 at that stage. But it will be a visit to Mercado Los Angeles for the last 2 maps. And these are maps that are winnable, of course, for both 2 teams, but LAT will be feeling good about the Mercado hardpoint especially, sending it 7-3 overall. Vegas is one of their better maps, but for Thieves, you just play this hardpoint how you did in the first half of Hotel. We're seeing the map number 5.
It is, and kind of interesting looking at the body language between the 2 teams. Obviously, for Legion, still blood singing, adrenaline dumped into their system. The control, almost maybe a mental reset for them. They don't seem too bad about it. They were smiling. On the other side of it, LA Thieves may be feeling the pressure. But here are the statistics for this hard point. 6-5 for the Legion, and for the Thieves, 7-3. Break percentage for Thieves is unbelievable. They are second in the league at it. But hey, we've talked about statistics before. They don't always measure up to reality. Let's find out what happens.
Well, the statistic of map number 1, it was about 135-point comeback for the Vegas Legion. They won't want to put themselves in that position again. Thieves will not want to lose that kind of position. And we talk about the breaks time and time again. This is where Thieves can really find their momentum. And I want to say, when we've seen them play up against FaZe yesterday, their rotations were really good, and it just felt like the game slipped away from them somehow. Right now, though, it has been a good start for the Vegas Legion. A little chunk of time over towards P1, rotations over towards P2, looking good for them as well.
Yeah, it's always weird around P1 to P2. Teams have to play around it. You don't want to give away all of the time, but at the same time, you know you need to get Cantina locked and loaded, ready for it. And you can see LA Thieves know they don't have the spawns, so they're just getting a bit of time where they keep pushing bodies and pressure.
Really nice here from Vegas Legion, actually. Brilliant rotation. The kills coming in the right places at the right time. Big hit now from Thieves over towards one side of things as the crowd starting to get behind the Vegas Legion, as they have done throughout the entire game. Big hit towards Ali, 1, not 2, found by TJ. The pinch has been potentially set up by Envoy, who will be dealt with, so it's one-dimensional. It's a 1v1 and the point, although Draza will choose to survive at top Cantina.
And the spawns are chaos.
Oh, wow.
Legion are miles away. Clayster is alone and down. And eventually LA Thieves will break in. They now have the lion's share of time. And they are just getting bodied. They can't get next to this one realistically. Legion, with 30 seconds left to go, may actually give this one up. But let's find out how they are feeling in the comms with the Vegas Legion. Listen in.
Big hold right here. Up top, looking big cut.
You're by yourself.
I have all of blue.
You're by yourself.
You're by yourself.
We're missing Charles and Kenny. I have all of blue side, guys.
Can we long on them?
I have all of blue side. They're gonna take their fucking time, bro.
Yeah, they're working me red, I think.
Yeah, they're working right for sure, skis.
Don't help these. Just keep
Yeah.
trying to get kills.
Kenny Octane, Draza on void.
Yellow man really weak.
Yeah,
He's one off
Draza
streaks.
on
He's one off streaks.
Draws yellow man really weak.
I have the Omni blue Octane.
I have the
Going
push on
left
dark.
side half wall.
Watch my big door.
I'm looking.
Left side half
I
wall.
got your big door. I got your big
I'm
door.
gonna spawn in Narn.
I got your big door.
Teach, get my mid front door.
your big
Teach,
door.
get my
I'm
front
looking
door.
mid cut.
I'll get you, I'll get you.
He's bite. Left side bite.
I have
Left
to
side
push
bite.
out of dark.
Two. The twin. Over in there. Nice. Good shit, Brandon. I can get time, bro.
Yo, they could get around my left here, guys.
I'm holding, bro.
Yeah, double hold actually.
I'm looking mid cut. I'm looking mid cut.
One shot dark.
Yeah, I'll get dark. I'll get dark. Get dark. Two dark. I have the two dark.
Do you have our big door, Clay?
Yes.
Get my front door.
shooting your front door.
Two dark. I got one. Front door.
I'm coming in with you, Brendan, or whoever that is. They're gonna be on you, Green. Don't
Get it,
over
let me
top
get it.
Do not over top Green.
Got one?
Yo, leave me. I'm gonna rotate.
I'm nading all the trucks, bro. I don't want to get blown up by this shit.
Got one?
Nice, Steve, you're the greatest.
I'm looking mid. I have mid.
Yo, can we get time?
I can get initial. I'll get initial. I'll get initial.
Just
I'm
iron
going
up.
off streaks.
One's big cut.
True in the back alley. True in the back alley.
Yo, fruit.
No, back elbow. Lay down left side elbow. Lay down elbow.
It's fruit.
Watch out, Legion.
Well, the Legion of yesteryear were ridiculed for their comms, but that was very, very clean. Very, very precise. They are breaking down the Thieves every single movement. They have rotated to Barbers perfectly, and they have taken the lead.
T-Real hasn't died since they got over towards P3. Still alive and kicking on 6. It will not continue, though. A lovely break coming in from Thieves. They needed that. Points were leaking away. It's a very different story to map number 1. This is closely contested. Rotations so far have belonged to the Vegas Legion for the most part, but the breaks again from Thieves has been something that they've become to rely on, but it's something they can comfortably rely on. They know they're good at it, the best team in the game, on average, at finding breaks inside of hills. And boy, he's going to find a big gunfight. Surely he doesn't find a second, not quite.
T-Real on a 2.0. The rotation is in for Legion. They are trying to play this clean here on hardpoint. Early rotations, get the holds, get the time, but Kenny finds TJ before they can do any more. And the Thieves are stacking. They're ready to break for this one as well. They've already got Percy's in the hill. T-Real finds one more, flies out. Temple get that one at the same time. TJ gets one more, and it's a challenge with Octane will find it. And eventually they do fall. The Legion hold this rotation.
That's a good 20 seconds or so that they were distracted off it, though. Thieves actually pick up a little bit of scrap time. It's a big gunfight win for Draza, though. Side alley about to be pushing out. Imagine the Thieves are going to go from 3 different directions here. Here they come. Kenny through the front door. T-Real and TJ holding it down, though. It's only Octane who can answer. Draza is there to pick up some potential scrap time here. 25 seconds to play for. It's going towards Legion. LA Thieves now in the rotations. They lick their wounds, and that lead is extended now for Legion.
I will say, though, Thieves played that very, very well. They took a pretty big hold away from the Legion. And speaking of big holds, they are set up. They are ready for this. Back alley is stacked with trophies, players, guns, and blood. And the Legion will look to break this, but will it be good or will it be bad? The trade's already coming through. Team Real kills TJ. Octane wall banging, they'll have to reset for it.
Need some help though, looking to spawn out here from the side of Thieves. If you are Vegas, you want to try and get things moving because the pink's starting to come in. Traza will find one. It's a 1v1 on the cyclist that will get dealt with. Big kill coming in from Kenny. Need some help from the rest of the team because when we do get over towards this hill, things can get mixy in terms of the spawn if you don't have ultimate control of your Thieves. Right now, they've got players in good positions. The kills being traded left and right. Yes, the gunning from Too Real though. It's been unbelievable from Legion. In this map specifically, that's 30 seconds. Over towards the Vegas side, they're in a great spot, heading over towards P7.
There's not a clean hill in existence here in Mikado at the moment. Octane already looking for this one, trying to fight 10 for long range. It's not easy for him. The gunny is nice, he eventually doesn't get it. And Too Real committing the cruise to it as well.
I don't think he's going to find much with this. Of course, the information will be gained. That is a cruise that doesn't find you much. Vegas Legion now all spawning together though. You can see the spawn out from Octane, so if Vegas Legion can get things moving here, then all of a sudden they're looking at some decent time because you're going to spawn, and what is to call it, Narnia, nowhere near it. Really good break here from the Vegas Legion. This is looking like some good time. Nice win from Kenny. 40 seconds to play for here, over towards the car park. Vegas Legion, they might break 200 here.
And for Thieves, if they don't break now, that lead will be insurmountable surely, but we've already seen a bigger comeback so far. The Thieves need every bit of veterancy, every bit of passion they can provide to break this. They managed to crack the Legion defense. And they've got bodies in here as well. But TJ takes two back. He's looking for one more. He's laying down. He's going to die. As the team keeps throwing bodies at it, Legion still, though, in the better position as the next rotation arrives.
And that's a hell of a chunk of time for Vegas Legion over towards that final hill on the first rotation. I doubt we'll see P7 again, but that's a brilliant hold from Legion. Now it's all about the spawns over towards P2 and locking down as much time as you possibly can on P1. It's not insurmountable by any stretch of the imagination, by any stretch of what we've seen in this series. Thieves can 100% bring this back. It's about an 80-point lead. Good kills coming in here for Legion. But for the Thieves, crucially, you're still spawning towards that hedge side. P2 Cantina is looking good when we see it in 35 seconds.
I was going to say the Legion might actually try and bleed time here on the P1. Every single second they get helps them out in the long run. Placed it with a long bomb, gets a kill down at the same time. Goes for it himself, dives into it. Trophy down at the same time. Thieves know they cannot give this away. They have to keep fighting. Legion can exploit this. If they can find the kills, they can find the time and find their way into that next set of rotations. As TJ bounces around the corner and fights his way to Cantina.
Split spawns coming in. Thieves starting to spawn out for the rest of the three who are still here, though. You lock it down. It's so important for Envoy to find those kills. Big time now on offering over towards P2. This is a nice setup from Thieves.
And the question remains, Thieves will come back in the first hard point against them. Will they now do this to Legion? The dream is always alive, and they are looking to bleed them in every single avenue they attempt to take. 40 more seconds at play here on P2. The Legion will give this game back into contest if they cannot find a break or a contest.
Wonderful hold so far from Thieves, and it keeps getting better. 2 more kills on the board for Kenny. The Thieves fans have had very little to scream about inside this venue, but they're starting to get a little bit louder now. Temple find that kill on transition. It looks like Vegas Legion will choke that one up. But as we headed into the second rotation, it was an 80-point difference. By the time we head over towards P3, it will be a mere 20. Vegas Legion now in a really, really good position now. Temple will find one in the middle, over towards P3. Clayster locking it down if he can.
And for the Legion, they must not break. They must not allow Thieves back into this. It is close, but it is not over. As Clayster plays his life, eventually falls. The rest of the Legion must hold the door. The fort must be secured. But it's stacking, it's a pinch, it's every single direction Thieves are looking for as well. Temple find the third, TJ will find another one. They get it, only Octane left and he finds 2. He keeps it alive just for a few seconds.
But this time, still soaking over towards Vegas Legion. And now for Thieves, you're here, but can you get rid of Temple, who's still trying to lock it down? Draws an Octane, finding 2, it's 5 in a row for Sam. And there is the break. The best breaking team on the game, showing us exactly why. 22 seconds to play for here. For the side of Vegas Legion, you're rotating. It's all about the rotation now, though. Kenny is here. Legion need to lock this rotation in. Thieves, you need to get the barbershop now.
Kenny may be the X factor. He may be the man, the myth, the legend. They've already got a stun check onto him. Legion are 4 deep here at this hill. Barbers is primed, it's popped. And here we go. The Legion are holding. The Thieves are arriving as kills ricochet off the Barbers. It's a haircut for everybody. A 2 versus 2 around this as well. 2Real finds the kill, and he finds the second. And now the Thieves have to scream down the back alley. They've got to go. 3 seconds left. They fly in, and 2Real falls. He falls in the last second. And oh boy, finds it. The hopes and dreams of the Legion are not quite done yet.
And they're spawning way, way out. Temp could potentially do something here as he finds one under Kenny. All they need is 2 seconds.
2Real, 2 seconds. Draws a must hold against these players. They fly against him. Clayton will find 2. And that's going to be it. It's done. It's over. It's written into the history books. Cometh the hour. Cometh the Legion. They take down the Titans of Thieves. And magic always happens at the majors.
A disaster class from Thieves. Maps 1 and 2 will hold them for a long, long time. No questions about 3 and 4 though. Wonderful performance from Legion, who put their butts on the throat of Thieves from the word go and did not let up. Brilliant performance on Mikado. It's really been their standout when it comes down to the hard point. And they show it there once again. Huge performance from Clayster. Big statement from Legion. They have an opportunity in this loser's bracket now.
90 tournaments. And not a gunny loss, not a percent, not an inch of skill removed from that man's repertoire. And we have seen Titans already fall. The subliners are gone from this tournament, and now the Thieves join them. Competition is very much alive in the CDL. And my goodness, do I love LAN.
Oh,
I didn't think you weren't going to be here.
oh, Nelly. Thank God. What a game that was. Legion clutch up in maps 1 and 2, which ultimately does give them the victory. Yeah, control sucks, but who cares? Really good game from them, 215 to 229. And that will give them so much confidence heading into the rest of the tournament. We're still all early doors, of course. That's 2 wins on the day. Clayster's getting hyped up. Vegas Legion are going to be a problem.
They are. They have every reason to be hyped. The biggest comeback in hardpoint this year. A 6-5 on the S&D. There was a control, but we'll ignore that for now. And 250 to 229. The plays and the MVP of that map, number 4, by the way, was probably 2Real. Over and over again, he's done it. And whew, I'm glad to be here.
I know, I need to lie down now. My goodness, I mean, that is a humongous win for the Vegas Legion production. Just in my ear there, is that the biggest win in their history? I think it may well be, to be honest with you. Big moment on the big stage against a big team in a comeback that we will probably never see the likes of for quite some time. Let's go to Ali on the stage. I hope it's with Clayster. I don't care who it is. The Vegas Legion take the game.
They do indeed, Ton. A massive, massive W here for Temp and the Las Vegas Legion. Texas, get loud for these guys. Oh, we got the smoke too? High quality, man. High quality. No, Temp, I got to ask you, man. I know the casters were talking about it. You have been with this franchise for such a long time. Seeing a W like that, how does it make you feel?
Feels amazing. Words can't describe it. Our practice has been a little, turbulent, a little shaky. We didn't win a map the other day, and then we came out and, we're on a roll right now, so we just got to keep this momentum.
Dude, I got to take you back to the hard point, right? I had to write it down. 206 to 63. What does that say about the team that you guys did not fold? You managed to make one of the craziest comebacks we've seen in hard point in a long time.
So when you're in those situations, you just got to slow it down and get a kill. It's very, very simple. We knew we weren't making any drastic mistakes. We just got to slow it down and get a kill, and we kept belief the whole time, and hey, we turned it around. That's what happens when you keep belief.
Absolutely, man. It feels like that has really been the story with the Legion franchise so far throughout this season. Another spot that I got to take you to, Search and Destroy, goes to around 11. It ends up being you versus Kenny in a 1v1.
Yeah.
What's the mentality like in a spot like that?
Yeah, I didn't even know it was Kenny. But after I won it, teacher was like, yo, it was Ken. I knew you had that. You know what I'm saying? That's my duo. Shout out to Ken. You know what I'm saying? But so I got terrible timing. I chowed out the door trying to make like an aggressive winner play, just go rogue and chow. And as soon as I went through the door, he went through the door and shot Clay. So it was kind of just a scramble, and I came out on top, man.
You did indeed. You did indeed. And the crazy part, too, is that, you know, we're looking at this series. We're watching, okay, Thieves, are they going to answer back? They come out, win the control. But again, you guys don't fold. You answer back in the Mercado. It feels like the Hardpoint's in a better spot. In general, man, just kind of give us a feel for what the camp feels like right now. What's the mentality like right now for Legion?
We're feeling a lot better. Like I said, we have some very off days, and a lot of our problems from our past roster are still prevalent. So we're doing our best to fix them. We're watching so much VOD. We're doing so much research. We're grinding. So we just got to keep working, and we got to make a run this tournament, get some points.
I got to ask you, what's going to be the thing that gets you guys as far as you really want to be? If there's one situation, one map, one mode, mentality, whatever it is, what's going to get you guys far in this tournament?
I would say control. I feel like the top teams are very, very good at control, and we're not great at control right now. So I feel like in a series where we steal the control, like we beat Thieves last time in control, that sealed the deal on the series. So if we can win a control, anything is possible. We just got to win a control.
I love that. KG, anything is possible. Love that mentality. Anything you want to say to the Legion fans, the Texas fans that are out here for you guys?
The crowd's been amazing. Keep going crazy for every team, not just our team. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all have a great time. We're going to continue to put on a show. And I love all y'all, man. Enjoy your night.
Absolutely. That is Temp here for the Las Vegas Legion. That's going to do it for us here on the main stage. Desk, close us out, guys.
Great interview with Temp. He seems pumped up. Love that. Took that 1v1 against Kenny. He wins it. Didn't even know, but in the moment, in the heat of battle, sometimes you don't. Biggest win in franchise history. Nameless. This win was huge. We didn't even predict it.